Hello folks and welcome to the EV lease deals of the month for July. Now there are only a handful of deals in this month's video. EV deals at the moment are very difficult to get hold of. So as a result of that, I am looking at some factory order stuff here. What I would strongly suggest you do is when you click through my link, which is in the video description and pinned as a top comment to make your inquiry on Lease Loco, I would have a little message in there that asks about realistic delivery times and your right to sort of pull out of the arrangement if that time slips or if things, don't quite go according to plan. I don't know of any specific issues with delivery times on the cars I'm showing you in this video, but we all know the current situation with regards to new car delays is a bit of an iffy one. So there you go. I'm also, at the end of this video, I'm going to pop a link on the screen to my UK car news video from this Sunday. It's the worst performing one I've ever had. I don't know if it's because of the heat wave. My views in general have been pretty rubbish this week. So please just take a minute, once you've watched this one, to go and look at the other content I've released recently and give it a watch. Because if you don't watch, I don't make. Simples. Let's get to the content. So first up, we've got the Renault ZOE. This one's the 100 kilowatt iconic R135 50 kilowatt hour boost charge 5-door auto. The ZOE has got a bit of a naff Euro NCAP score. I did a video a little while ago, which I'll pop a link to up there if I remember, which basically tells you why I think Euro NCAP is a little bit of a nonsense now. It's much more about how much safety technology is in the car rather than how well it performs in a crash, which to me is the important bit. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't think you should be too. 1,100 quid up front, 303 a month on this one. Very good range for a small car, 238 miles, 0-62 in 9.5, 134 horsepower. And we are looking at 338 litres of boot space, which again, for a small car, is very respectable, particularly for an EV. There we go, they've been around for a little while, the Zoes, not bad cars at all. Next up, we've got the MG5. If you want one of these, this is in stock. So if you want it, use my link, make an inquiry right now. If you don't do it right now, it will probably be gone. This is how these things work at the moment. This includes AA breakdown cover and free change of term or mileage. Just under £1,000 up front, 332 a month. Big estate car that looks like an estate car. Not particularly awe-inspiring design on these things, but very much sort of function and practicality over design, which sometimes is just what you need. 7.7 seconds to 62, so it doesn't hang about. 214 miles combined range. Group 32 on the car insurance. 578 litres of boot space, which is very, very respectable for an EV. Not a bad shout, that one. 997 up front, 332 a month. Next up, we've got the Peugeot E208, quite possibly the best looking small EV, quite possibly the best looking small car. 100 kilowatt GT 50 kilowatt hour 5-door auto. Front wheel drive, Group 28 on car insurance, 0-62 in 8.1 and combined range of 217 miles. Now you see the city range is 317 miles because most EVs will obviously perform better at lower speed, sort of the exact reverse of what you would normally expect with a petrol or diesel, where they tend to do better MPG when you're out on the open road. With an EV, those electric motors are actually working harder, so they drain the battery quicker. So that's why you get more range in the city than you do on a combined cycle, for all those people that have asked. 311 litres of boot space, so again, not too bad considering the size of the car and the fact it's an EV. But I really do like the look of those cars. I think they're very, very nicely styled. Right, moving up in size a bit now, we've got the Polestar II. 1,764 up front and 555 a month. Sorry if I'm a bit stuffy, by the way. Hay fever. 170 kilowatt, 69 kilowatt hour standard range single motor 5-door auto. Combined range on that one's 273, city range 380, Group 34 on the car insurance, 231 brake horsepower, 7.4 seconds to 62 and 405 litres of boot space. I've just recently had a Polestar 2, albeit the sort of super duper performance one, review to that up there. I absolutely loved it. I think I said in that video, if I was still in a corporate sort of job and I were looking to order a company car for myself, I'd order that one. Simple as that. For a family car, I'd probably want a slightly bigger boot and maybe a little bit more room in the back. as an exec car, it's absolutely mint. I love it. 1764 up front, 555 a month. Not too far off where it's been earlier on in the year, which at the moment, considering that I've just seen inflation is possibly going to hit 12%, that's not a bad thing. Next, we've got the Renault Megane E-Tech, 1878 up front, 560 a month. It's the EV60 160 kilowatt Techno 60 kilowatt hour optimum charge. This one's front wheel drive, 217 brake horsepower, 7.5 seconds to 62, 280 miles of combined range, and a 440 litre boot. This looks like it's firmly going after things like the Peugeot 3008. And I think it's a really interesting looking car. I like that a lot. Very nicely styled. Hopefully Renault will lend me one at some point, and that would be nice. 1878 up front, 560 a month. Right, Tesla Model Y long range. I've included this one, not because, you know, it's the deal of the century. It's not. They're blooming expensive at the moment. But if you don't know, Tesla recently put all their prices up quite a lot. I think the Model 3 went up by about 8 grand. 2.5 grand up front, 715 a month. This is in stock. So with a car like this at the moment, you're going to be paying a premium for something that's in stock because everyone wants one. They're very difficult to get hold of. Here is one. This will go very, very quickly. So if you're interested, use the link, make your inquiry, and get on it. So this is the long range. This is the long range version, 4-wheel drive, 384 brake horsepower, 4.8 seconds to 62. The acceleration is ridiculous, like it's violent. 331 miles of combined range, and the boot space is about 800 litres. It's a fairly familiar looking sort of Tesla design. Sits kind of between the Model 3 and the Model X. It's about as close as you would get, I guess, to sort of a Tesla estate car, although it's not an estate car. But massively popular, huge demand for them, and that one's in stock. Now, just because so many people's dresses, proverbial dresses, have been blown up by this particular car, I've included one on here just for the sake of interest. It's a Volkswagen ID Buzz. I think these start about 57 grand to buy. This one is 2,600 up front and 755 a month, so they are not cheap cars. Only 5 seats in them at the moment as well, which looks like a bit of an oversight. I mean, it just looks like it's made for a 7-seat car. Rear-wheel drive, 10 seconds to 62, 204 horsepower, 255 miles of combined range, and 1,121 litres of boot space. I think it's a great bit of design. I really like how they've kind of taken that old retro VW camper appeal and you know, modernized it. I think it's really, really clever design. The interior is very sort of classic VW, which means it's very functional. Possibly not the most exciting thing to look at, but very, very functional. And as you can see, there's a ton of space in that thing. They're going to be massively popular despite that huge price tag. They just are. 2.5 grand up front, 755 a month. And then finally, 2.5 grand a month, 731 a month is the Audi e-tron Sportback. This is the 230 kilowatt 50 Quattro 71 kilowatt hour Technic Auto. We've seen these before. 4-wheel drive, Group 45 on the car insurance, 0 to 62 in 6.8, 198 miles of range, 313 brake horsepower, and 615 litres of boot space. Nice looking thing, expensive, range could be better. That's my summary of it. Now, in my last lease deals video, there were a fair few sort of negative comments from people saying these deals are all ridiculous. They used to be so much cheaper than this and blah, blah, blah. Just think about it sensibly, folks. Cars used to be a lot cheaper than this to buy. Cars used to be readily available everywhere. Inflation was low single digits. Interest rates were almost nothing. The world is a changed place at the moment. There's massive demand for new cars. There's very little supply. A recession is happening. Interest rates are going up. Inflation's going up. What do we really expect right now? The important thing is still looking for the best deal every time you go to get a car. So work out what it's going to cost you over that 3-year period and then compare the options. Compare your PCP and your lease and your loan. You know, do the homework and just go well informed. I still strongly believe in leasing and I wouldn't make these videos if I didn't. I'm still showing you the best deals we can find. And really, the cost of what something used to be is fairly irrelevant right now because it is a brave new world, folks. Please go and watch some of my other videos, some of my recent videos, which haven't had nearly enough love. So please go and check some of those out. Please continue to support the channel and continue to watch the videos, for God's sake. Otherwise, I don't know, I'll have to go and get a job. Please use that link to Lease Loco if you are interested in inquiring about any of these deals, or indeed if you just want to go and have a poke around on their website and have a look at the deals for yourself. Live long, prosper. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.